Hello everyone, and welcome to another entry to the SCP Horror Movie Files. Today will be about the beloved video game franchise, Resident Evil. Though before we begin, I want to give a shout out to all my subscribers. As I am making this video, I now have 14 subscribers. Thank you so much to both my new subscribers, as well as those of you who are still with me. It means a lot. Now back to the video. As a final disclaimer, this video will contain mentions of violence, blood, gross imagery, dead animals, giant bugs, and body horror. If any of that makes you uncomfortable, then please feel free to click off the video. To those that wish to continue, let's begin with SCP-AAY. SCP-AAY, codename the Tyrant Virus. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-AAY samples are kept within 10 vials, all stored within a biohazard containment case. The containment case is stored within a biohazard storage area of Site-AA. The biohazard storage area is constantly guarded by 20 AFA-1 units within and 2 AFA-2 units guarding the entrance. Any testing must be approved by at least one Level 4 clearance staff member or higher. Any SCP-AAY variants created during testing is to be terminated after testing has concluded. Any exceptions must be approved by at least 5 Level 5 clearance staff members or by the approval of at least one O5 council member. Any accidental infection must be treated with the antivirus within 24 hours, otherwise the host is to be executed. There are no exceptions. Description: SCP-AAY is a highly mutagenic and lethal virus with several dangerous properties. Unlike all other pathogens, SCP-AAY can infect even the dead, turning them into SCP-AAY-1 instances. SCP-AAY-1 instances are transformed hosts of the virus, either starting off dead or becoming infected while living and dying due to infection. The result is a human with visibly rotting flesh, inactive brain activity leading to a lack of motor function, unyielding aggression, and an endless hunger for non-infected flesh. SCP-AAY-1 instances are quite similar to victims of SCP-008. However, unlike SCP-008, its effects are not limited to humans. SCP-AAY-2 instances are animals such as dogs, birds, monkeys, and other mammals that have been infected with SCP-AAY during life or death. SCP-AAY-2 instances are similar to their SCP-AAY-1 counterparts in that they are undead. However, SCP-AAY-2 instances retain a majority of their initial motor functions, meaning they are just as agile and coordinated as when they were living. This has made them extremely dangerous and able to spread infection through bites and scratches more easily than their SCP-AAY-1 counterparts. Unfortunately, the virus takes a more drastic effect when infection occurs within bugs. SCP-AAY-3 instances are insects, arachnids, certain reptiles, and even a few mammal species that have been infected with SCP-AAY. This strain of infection leads to enlarged size, increased aggression, and hunger for non-infected, as well as increased sense for those that are not infected. Unlike their SCP-AAY-1 and SCP-AAY-2 counterparts, their bodies do not rot, but instead their cells replicate rapidly to accommodate for their sudden growth. There seems to be no consistent measurements to their size. The closest consistency that has been observed is that SCP-AAY-3 instances that work in groups only grow anywhere from 1 to 4 meters. Meanwhile, instances that are more isolated can grow up to 18 meters in size. As stated before, SCP-AAY-3 instances are typically limited to infected insects and arachnids, though certain reptiles and mammals can become SCP-AAY-3 instances after infection as well. Why this is the case is unknown. SCP-AAY-4 instances are plants infected with SCP-AAY. Unfortunately, SCP-AAY-4 instances are the most unique of all organisms infected with SCP-AAY, in that infected hosts rarely, if ever, have any consistent characteristics. Some grow extremely large and sprout vines that act as tentacles. Some become humanoid or even insect-like, while others start to grow like wildvine to cover as much area as possible. Any of these instances can infect humans to create plant-like hybrid monsters, quite similar to SCP-AAY-1 instances, despite their added resilience. The working theory for all the variations is that different species of plants is what causes the different mutations, and therefore different SCP-AAY-4 instances. SCP-AAY-5 instances are actually not naturally occurring mutations of infection. Instead, they are the results of experiments conducted by a group of interest, the Umbrella Corporation. These instances are made for the sole purpose of being bioweapons for the company. It's actually because of SCP-AAY-5 instances that the Foundation coined the term Weaponized Viral Anomalies, or WVA for short. SCP-AAY-5 are a subcategory with the most variations and considered the most dangerous. SCP-AAY-6 is quite possibly the first natural mutation of SCP-AAY. Ironic, considering it's the last variation discovered. SCP-AAY-6 only happens when leeches are infected by SCP-AAY. The result is the infected leeches fusing together and turning into a giant leech monstrosity. This creature is able to breed hundreds of leeches at any given moment and can control them through a hive mind. SCP-AAY-6 leeches have two basic abilities. The first is direct infection of SCP-AAY. The second ability allows them to stick together and shift into any shape and change appearance with amazing accuracy. The only recorded instance of this happening was when they joined together to resemble the person of interest, Dr. Marcus. Because there has only ever been one SCP-AAY-6 creature in existence, it is unknown if there are other possible abilities or variations of the instance. SCP-AAY was discovered in 1998 when a train was attacked by leeches created by SCP-AAY-6. Though, at the time, the Foundation knew nothing of the situation and discovered the incident entirely by accident. A Foundation operative who had the unfortunate timing of being on the train managed to send out a message in Morse code stating, "Anomalous leeches killing everyone. Send help." Due to the message including the word leeches, Mobile Task Force Lambda 12 Pest Control was deployed to find and contain the anomalous parasites. However, upon arrival, Lambda 12 forces instead encountered SCP-AAY-1 instances, severely complicating the situation. As the Lambda 12 forces suffered casualties, they had no choice but to fight alongside Rebecca Chambers and Billy Cohen. Please see Addendum X7 for details. Because of the incident, Foundation staff assigned to Raccoon City recalled disappearances around a mansion where the Raccoon City stars were going to investigate. The Foundation had to do its own investigation in order to see if there was a pattern and if such a pattern led back to the Umbrella Corporation. As such, Mobile Task Force Beta 7 Maz Hatters was sent to the mansion to investigate and contain any possible SCP-AAY variants. Please see Addendum X11 for details. Thankfully, both missions ended in success, albeit with heavy loss. SCP-AAY samples were extracted and sent back to the Foundation. Initial testing has shown that the virus is extremely adaptive to any and all medicine used to treat the host. Furthermore, SCP-AAY was discovered to have the unusual property of being able to fuse with other pathogens to create an entirely new pathogen. It is for this reason SCP-AAY is considered a Level 4 biohazard threat. Because of the threat they posed by creating SCP-AAY, Foundation forces were deployed to dismantle the Umbrella Corporation. However, before Umbrella could be destroyed, Raccoon City, their main city of operations, spontaneously became under attack by an outbreak of SCP-AAY, along with SCP. This disaster scattered Foundation forces, forcing those that could escape to do so as fast as possible. Those trapped in the city had no choice but to team up with local survivors to escape. Please see Addendum X8 for details. Despite recently being promoted to level clearance, Dr. Wicked insisted on helping with the evacuation effort. This led to his encounter with SCP, as well as person of interest, Jill Valentine. Please see Addendum X12 for details. And that was SCP-AAY. Thank you everyone for watching. Normally, this is the part of the video where I ask you to support my YouTube channel, my Tumblr, and my Patreon, but not today. Starting in May, I'll be working away from SCP Horror Movie File content, moving on to other projects of mine. Rest assured, this is not the end of SCP-HMF. I am merely taking a break. This break will go on through May and June. I might come back with more SCP-HMF content either in July or August. Though, just because I am not working on SCP-HMF doesn't mean I don't have other projects in the work, as you have probably noticed. I don't want to make any promises I possibly can't keep, so I will leave it at that. Instead, I want to thank all of you viewers, especially my amazing subscribers. Thank you so much for being with me as I started my channel from nothing. I wish you all a blessed day and hope to see you in my future projects.